New York, New York.
Welcome to this week's edition of Stephen A. State of Mind. I'm Stephen A. Smith. 'Twas the night before Christmas, all through the Meadowlands. No creatures were stirring, no Giants or Jets fans. Okay. That's about it for the holiday cheer because the Jets and the Giants both need a win to stay in the playoff hunt. Rex Ryan keeps running his mouth. So here's who has the edge. I got to give it to you straight. I think it's the New York Giants. Number one, because they're desperate. They need it more. They lose, they're out. The Jets lose, they can still be in because they're competing with the Cincinnati Bengals for that last playoff spot, okay? Number two, they got to go up against the Dallas Cowboys next. They got to give themselves an edge. They know this. I believe the Giants will get it done. Number three, and more importantly, Eli Manning is better to me than Mark Sanchez. And last but not least, Rex Ryan keeps opening his mouth, and I think D-Day has arrived. At some point in time, bad karma is going to kick in even more emphatically than it has already. And ultimately, we're going to get to a point where we're going to say to Rex Ryan, it is officially time to shut up. You not only are not competing for a Super Bowl title, you didn't even make the playoffs. Hopefully, Woody Johnson, the owner for the New York Jets, will come up to him and say, shut up, okay? Be quiet. You've talked enough smack. You haven't reached expectations. You haven't lived up to the expectations you set upon yourself. Nobody put this on their shoulders but you. Enough is enough. And if anything can establish that, it is the New York Giants beating the New York Jets, which is something I think will take place this Saturday at MetLife Stadium. Now let's get to some round ball. Knicks versus the Boston Celtics on Christmas Day. We all know that's a big-time game, the opening of the NBA season. That's the first game on the docket, and I'm here to tell you right now, as good as Boston is, even though the Knicks are still trying to get familiar with themselves or what have you, considering the way that the New York Knicks were beat down in the first round of the NBA playoffs by the Boston Celtics, getting swept, broomsticks everywhere, I think this is a time where the New York Knicks are going to show up. It's a regular season game, okay? Even though the Boston Celtics are very much accustomed to playing with one another and the New York Knicks are not, you would want to give the New York Knicks, you would want to give the Boston Celtics rather the edge. I'm just going to be a little emotional here. I'm sure y'all can understand it. I am a native New Yorker after all. It is Stephen A. State of Mind after all. And my state of mind is to be emotional. To look at the New York Knicks, Melo, Amari, Tyson Chandler, and say, look, handle your business against these boys, at least for a second. But then I gotta fall back a little bit, get my mind right, and I have to be objective. I think the Knicks will probably lose this game. That's not to say I don't think they're gonna win their share of games. I'm predicting the New York Knicks will win about 45 games this year. But that doesn't mean they're going to win Sunday, Christmas Day. As hyped as the Garden is going to be, as hyped as everybody's going to be. KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, especially Rondo. I don't see how the Knicks can mess with that. Unless, of course, Paul Pierce is not ready to go. If everybody for Boston is healthy, they win. If one of them is not healthy, it's the New York Knicks games to lose. Trust me on this one. I know what I'm saying. That's it for this week's edition of Stephen A. State of Mind. Make sure you keep it locked in right here on ESPNNewYork.com for all your local sports coverage. By the way, did I forget to tell y'all? Merry Christmas to you.